Wuchang, another Souls-like game in this modern generation of gaming, with Souls-like being released even more frequently than even FPS games, where almost every RPG is trying to get into this genre's umbrella with how famous and widely accepted these games are. But people have been having quite the burnout from them recently. So how does Wuchang stand out amongst the many Souls-like games around it? Or does it fall short with being just another trend chaser? Watch this review because I'll be telling you about all that. With the help of 505 giving me an early review copy, I was able to make this video ahead of the game's release, and this will help me a lot. But you know what will help me even more? Is your support if you subscribe to the channel. So please consider doing that because I have tons of more Wuchang content to be uploaded soon. Wuchang is set in the land of Shu during the late Ming Dynasty era, with a twist of fantasy horror setting that is full of death and mysterious illnesses that spawns the darkest and scariest of creatures. Exploring the game's haunting yet beautiful world that is full of variety was simply a blessing, and it surprised me. You have all kinds of areas that you expect or not expect from Souls-like games, where not everything is just bloody and disgusting, but things can look pretty soothing for the eyes and stomach. This is where Wuchang's magic starts to shine. These Chinese architectures are a treat to look at. Even when the game's graphics are not the best or highest in its fidelity, there are areas that you can just look at and be like, okay, the art direction is doing the heavy lifting here. All these areas are interconnected with so many branches and secrets in a way that actually make the exploration feel satisfying. The main drawback here though is with how almost every area in the game, it is filled with traps and hidden enemies. It almost gave Dark Souls 2 a run for its money. Kind of hindered the progression with how you will have to double check everything to make sure there are no hidden enemies or traps underneath your feet. As for its gameplay, Wuchang's main distinguishable feature is its madness system. This is where the game stands out the most. The madness system is absolutely amazing and to reward you and punish you at the same time for dying, because each time you die, your madness gauge increases, which makes both the damage inflicted and received higher. The weapon system is by far the best in any Souls-like, since it has tons of weapons, with each one of them is customizable to your likings, all thanks to the benedictions, which acts as an accessory for your weapons, and the disciplines, which are the weapon skills that you can equip and unequip to your likings. In my case, I've went full burn in benedictions, and I made something very broken, which I'm gonna discuss in a different video. Weapon disciplines which can be equipped from the shrine could change the way you even play the game. For instance, if you equip the weapon encounter, this would turn the game almost as if you are playing Sekiro or Stellar Blade to some degree, but it sadly only works against weapons, and it is not entirely accurate since sometimes it just fails for no apparent reason, and I hope this gets patched very soon. Customizability does not only apply for weapons. The armors you have that can be useful for different builds are not at their quantity, but rather quality. Most of the armors are tied to a certain build or can be equipped to make going through some areas easier. For example, there is an area where I had to change my armor to get past much easier due to it having a better despair resistance than the other. The devs also made sure that the armors are gorgeous and badass, depending on which kind of glamour you are going after, by providing variety of choices from looking like a monster to a complete badass sexy female character. It is entirely up to you, and thanks to the easy transmog system, where you can change the appearance of your armor at any time. Just like us Final Fantasy XIV players say, glamour is the end game. Now to my favorite part of the game, the boss fights. Boss fights in this game are designed as if they straight up came out of an Eastern horror show or movie. They are just terrifying to look at and most importantly challenging on their own ways, with each one of them follows a different strategy and ways to defeat. The most important thing in a Souls-like for me is the feeling of the gameplay and how the bosses are fun to fight. Wuchang have succeeded in both the feeling and boss design. Hell, some of them legit ask you to only use parries against them or focus on landing those satisfying backstabs. The variety in strategy and boss weaknesses is impressive nonetheless. Also, game's difficulty is gradually going up. The more you beat bosses, the higher in difficulty it becomes. Like the first boss is easier, second one is much harder, and then the third one is a bit harder than the second one. No difficulty spikes or bullshit. In the end, Wuchang have managed to stand out. It have achieved everything to win someone who was dealing with the Souls-like burnout all over, with me enjoying almost every aspect of it besides those goddamn traps, and the fact that the game could use some polish in its graphics and some mechanics like the weapon counter, but it is a strong candidate to be the best Souls-like this year, and if they make a sequel with a few improvements, it could be in a league on its own in terms of AA Souls-like games.